by the least packed up. No matter who you slipping, it don't matter who you are. Yeah, the facts are, they act strong. But been deceived in this game, and all the niggas that can't come.
What's going on, y'all? It's One Way to Flood, man. It's another episode of Saturday Sounds. On this episode, we're going to be doing a bar breakdown. One of my songs, Clarity, we're going to be breaking down the second verse. The reason I'm doing this, I'm really want to give y'all some context and background of this song. I feel like it'll help you get to know me a little bit more. And also, you know what I'm saying, for those of y'all that got that leaving everything up to prayer, just makes you pray shirt. We gave out some of those at the Arizona Hip Hop Festival. Everybody that's got that shirt, that bar actually that was on that shirt comes from this second verse in this song. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody who got that, and there will be more of those on the way. We had, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get into that, but you know what I'm saying, this will give you a little bit more context on that bar, and I'll break that down. I also felt like some of the bars just be going over y'all niggas heads and shit, you know what I mean? But you know, I'm a bar head, but you know, so I did want to break them down so y'all just, you know what I'm saying, really could you know, get a little bit a better idea of the song. But yeah, so we'll get right into it. I'm gonna let it
Calculate my moves till the karma looks clear to me. To react or respond, shit, that's what makes the play. So I never really care about how niggas roll with their faith. If it's really God's plan, then make sure the demon's straight. Besides, to leave it all up to prayer just makes you pray.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. So to react or respond, shit, that's what makes the play. And basically what I mean by that is in any given situation, you can react or respond to something. A reaction to me, you know what I'm saying, is impulsive. You're repeating the same thing, manifesting the same energy in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So a response is calculated. And so when I say, well, I never really care about niggas roll with their faith, I got my own gauge of things of how I gauge somebody. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a faith, I fuck with you, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So to react or respond, that's what makes the play. So I never really care about niggas roll with their faith. I got niggas, you know what I'm saying, people that I fuck with from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? I look at, you know, the principles of a person, and it's just these types of, there's certain types of people, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah. So I never really care about how niggas roll with their faith. If it's really God's plan, that makes sure the demon's straight. And so what I mean by that is basically through anything, when I look at God, I look at if you know me, you know that I look at I see God. I'm not gonna get too deep into that shit, but you know what I'm saying, it's like good and bad is all a part of the whole, you know, and those are just, that's a societal term. Those are just opposite polarities, right? Positive and negative. So when we talking about your demons, you could put that in the context however you want. You know what I'm saying? Your vices or whatever. Those things I feel are for you to transmute and go through personally, go through and learn and get the lesson from it. It's like life will throw the same fucking lesson at you or test at you until you can, instead of seeing it as something negative, something that's hindering you, learn to see it from learn from it and see it from a perspective, grow from it, move on to the next shit. So it's basically like, if it's really God's plan, that makes you the demon straight. So if you really, you know, doing the shadow work, you know what I'm saying? If you really doing the work and not just trying to push your shit or whatever it is to the side, but you actually acknowledging and addressing it, you know what I'm saying, going through the alchemy process, transmuting it and getting to whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. So it's really God's plan that makes you the demon straight. That's what I mean by that. So because God's plan includes angels and demons, you know what I'm saying? It's not just angels. You know what I'm saying? The devil is of God. It's an aspect of God. You know what I'm saying? So it's the overstanding that. And then I say, besides, to leave it all up to prayer just makes you pray. What I mean by that, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like, shit, you, and this goes for everybody. Any just religion or whatever your practice is, don't matter. You leaving that shit up to an external force, solely, then you just gonna be fooled, basically. You got to put the work in. So it's manifesting or whatever you're doing, you praying, you meditating, you still got to be doing the groundwork on your end. So that's what I mean by that. Leaving everything up to prayer just makes you pray. So I'm going to let the next shit play.
I ain't ashamed to say the perspective they hold from them, since the motions from these pictures essentially stole from them. When them zips tied, rent money, unbundled, with no cover, you all prepped for a cold summer.
So that's just, that shit's pretty self-explanatory, you know what I'm saying? Basically, my life has been, I've really been able to see both sides of the spectrum, man, and I really had some experiences. And when I say I ain't ashamed to say the perspective they hold from them, basically the shit I went through, the shit a lot of these niggas talk about on these songs, you know what I'm saying? They're giving you one side of this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here saying I'm no big time out, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, did a lot of that shit, bro. And a lot of times, what's being glorified is not the realistic pictures. As I say, anything to say the perspective they hold from them, since the motions from these pictures essentially stole from them. You know what I'm saying? The motions, the actions, the actual live experience. You know what I'm saying? You just seeing the movie. You just seeing what these niggas want you to see. You know what I'm saying? What they glorifying. So yeah. When I'm zip tied, rent money, unbuttered. I'm just kind of painting a perspective of, you know what I'm saying, how things can actually go. You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been there. Zip tied, rent money, unbundled. I get caught up, you know what I'm saying, sitting on some shit, that you thought was going to be gone, you know what I'm saying, all that shit. So it's just giving a little perspective on, like, how shit can actually go. Prep for a cold summer. I'm gonna let this next part play.
Some fiends, they acquire, they drip from the nose runners, cause high standards usually look down on a low budget. Coming words amongst your dogs, let me hold something.
Alright, I'm gonna stop right there. Hey, so what I mean by this bar, right, some fiends, they acquire, they drip from the nose runners. So what I'm actually saying here, I'm giving you a perspective of where the nigga that's serving is basically the fiend. So some fiends, they acquire, they drip from the nose runners. Like coke and shit, you get a nasal drip. You know what I'm saying? Your nose run, start, that type of shit. So I say some fiends, they acquire their drip from the nose runners. The nose runners is the fucking addicts, but it's the addicts, but the fiends is the, you know what I'm saying, is the motherfucker that's serving. Cause nigga, I'm gonna tell you, most of the niggas that's selling drugs, you know what I'm saying, or selling whatever, is not, them niggas is living check to check. You know what I mean? So, as I say, because our standards usually look down on a low budget, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is still, then most of them niggas is addicts themselves for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, like niggas out here being dealers and addicts and really just making fucking money to support they habit and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what that bar's about. Let that play.
Not having it all, we got to know something. You gotta roll something. Stagnation could put a fear in you. Get caught up in the cycle from looking at shit too linear. Process came from my grandma through my experience. Been chopping that up with my pops. He finally hearing them.
So you gotta roll something. Stagnation could put a fear in you. Get caught up in the cycle from looking. So basically, I'm saying you gotta roll something. You gotta make moves. Stagnation, you sit too long. Energy reaches equilibrium. You know what I'm saying? You become a master of whatever you do the most. So if you become stagnant, you can start to build. You know what I'm saying? You just get stuck in that. You become that. You know what I mean? So gotta roll something. Stagnation could put a fear in you. And then looking at that part where I'm talking about, she could put a fear in you. Get caught up in a cycle from looking at shit too linear. I process game from my grandma through my experience. Been chopping that up with my pops. He finally hearing her. And basically, I'm saying, like, a lot of times we look at shit just like linear, like I was saying. But to give you a little context to that, like I was adopted by my grandparents. I was in foster homes, group homes, and I getting adopted by my grandparents, right? And so my pops, you know what I'm saying, he was, you know, in prison, and out of prison most of my life. I ain't meet him till a little bit, really a couple of years ago. Now I done talked and video chatted him and all that, but you know what I'm saying, meeting him in person. But so, just to give a little background, like my grandma, very wise woman, you know what I'm saying, amazing woman, you know, just poured so much into me and really changed my life, and put a lot of game on me, you know what I'm saying, like, and I ain't really realized until I got older. And I know she tried to instill a lot of this stuff in my pops, and he didn't take it to heart. So now coming back around, you know what I'm saying, I'm having conversations with my pops, you know, telling them different stuff that I pretty much processed, you know, things that I got from my grandma that I, you know, processed, you know, that I went through and really, you know, saw, you know, realized in life, and really learned, you know, seeing the lessons play out. Now I start, you know, saying some of those things, or just putting them things in a different perspective, not necessarily like intentionally, but when I zoomed out, I realized, man, that's, you know, shit that mom told my mom told me, you know what I'm saying. And then, you know, my pops out now, you know, doing a lot better, and because he putting some of that shit into practice, you know. I'm not taking credit, solely taking credit for none of that, but what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, now he putting that shit into practice. And it's like, it's crazy to think about, like, for him to kind of start getting that shit, it like skipped a whole generation, you know what I'm saying? I like went through, cause you know what I'm saying, it like went through for my grandma to meet into him, you know, in essence, you know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit of that, but that's the end of that verse there, you know what I'm saying? So that's the, I hope I didn't skip 4 bars. I think I skipped 4 bars. Hopefully not, boy. I be doing these all raw. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's this episode of Saturday Sounds, man. I hope y'all enjoyed, man. Wanted to break down that second verse of clarity there and give you a little bit of where my head was at, and, you know, a little bit more context and background of the song, man. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Y'all stay up, man. It's one way to flood.
Sit by the leash, packed up. No matter who you slipping, it don't matter who you are. Yeah, the facts are, they act strong. But been deceived